This episode, we're diving deep into one of the most mind-bending frontiers of tech, brain-computer interfaces. Two game-changing players are leading the charge: Dust and Neuralink from Elon Musk. Before we dive in, did you know 60% of you aren't following us across all socials? If you like the show, please hit that follow button and collect our episodes on pods.media. Your support keeps the show going, guys.
You know, for so long, this kind of technology felt like pure science fiction, honestly.
Absolutely, straight out of a movie.
But hearing about Dust and Neuralink, it genuinely feels like that future is unfolding right before our eyes. I mean, this isn't just about controlling computers with your mind anymore, is it?
No, not at all.
It feels like it's about fundamentally redefining human capability.
Yeah.
Could we one day boost our intelligence? Could telepathy become real?
These are the massive questions, yeah. These are the mind-bending questions these technologies are starting to answer right here, right now. So today, our deep dive is going to unravel what these incredible innovations are, why they're making such huge headlines, how they profoundly differ, and, most importantly, the enormous challenges and promises they hold for our future.
And that's exactly it. Understanding these innovations isn't just knowing what's cool in tech, though it is cool.
It definitely is cool.
Right. But it's about grasping the fundamental shifts happening in human capability and health. We're talking about the potential to literally merge mind and machine in ways once only dreamed of, addressing everything from debilitating neurological disorders to enhancing how we interact with the digital world, with AI even. It's a complex landscape, yes, but its potential impact is truly monumental.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What exactly are Dust and Neuralink? They sound like something straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, but they're incredibly real. For someone just dipping their toes into this world, how would you best describe these two groundbreaking technologies?
Well, what's fascinating here is how different their approaches are, even though the end goal is sort of similar, right? Yeah. Merging brain and computer.
Right.
Let's start with Dust. The key insight with Dust is its revolutionary stealth. We're talking about microscopic wireless sensors, genuinely smaller than a grain of sand.
Smaller than sand? Wow.
Yeah, designed to be injected directly into the brain or nerves. And here's the truly innovative part. They're powered and communicate using ultrasound.
Ultrasound, like for imaging?
Exactly like that, but used for power and data. So no wires, no bulky batteries. Think of them as tiny, silent spies in your brain.
Okay.
Listening in on neural conversations and sometimes whispering commands back, all without needing major open brain surgery.
That's incredible.
This groundbreaking tech came out of UC Berkeley with significant backing from DARPA. It promises scalable, long-term monitoring, almost like a neural Fitbit for, broad neural activity.
A neural Fitbit. I love that analogy. That makes sense. And then we have Neuralink, which feels like it's on the completely other end of the spectrum. Elon Musk's brainchild, right? What's the core concept there?
That's right. Neuralink takes a much more direct, high-bandwidth approach. It's a coin-sized implant.
Okay, so bigger.
Much bigger, comparatively. And it works with these ultra-thin electrode threads that are surgically inserted directly into the brain's cortex.
Surgically inserted? How do they even do that?
Get this. With a proprietary robotic sewing machine, believe it or not.
Sewing machine for the brain? Seriously?
Seriously. So Elon's basically designed a highly specialized robotic tailor for your brain.
That's wild.
Neuralink's primary goal is to capture incredibly high-resolution neural signals and translate them into commands. This allows users to do things like control computers, prosthetic limbs, or even smart devices.
Just by thinking.
All just with their thoughts. And it's not theoretical. After successful animal trials, monkeys playing video games, and so on.
Right. I remember seeing that.
Neuralink is now in human trials, and they're gearing up for large-scale studies in 2025. It's no longer hypothetical. These are real human trials shaping the future.
It's astonishing to think about. That robotic tailor image really sticks. But what's the driving force behind this acceleration right now? Why are these technologies mattering so profoundly today, specifically?
Well, a huge part of it is the need. When you consider that neurological disorders affect over 1 billion people worldwide.
1 billion? That's staggering.
It is. Conditions like paralysis, ALS, significant sensory loss. The potential for brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, is immense. They offer profound, life-altering hope.
Yeah.
To restore mobility, communication, and autonomy for individuals who've lost those abilities. It's about giving back independence and a quality of life that seemed impossible just a few years ago.
That makes total sense as a driver.
But the why now isn't just about healthcare, as critical as that is. These BCIs could fundamentally redefine human-computer interaction.
Oh.
Imagine interfacing directly with AI agents, or augmenting your own cognition-boosting memory or focus without even needing to speak or type.
Whoa.
The possibilities truly go far beyond just medical applications. And this isn't some distant future. 2025 is shaping up to be a truly pivotal year.
Why 2025 specifically?
Well, Neuralink has major trials coming involving dozens of patients. That's a big step up. And Neural Dust continues its rapid progress in miniaturization and power efficiency. The momentum is truly building, and we're on the cusp of significant breakthroughs that could profoundly alter our everyday lives.
Okay, so on the surface, they both promise mind-machine integration, but their approaches seem almost diametrically opposed, like you said. If Neural Dust is all about minimal invasion and a broad network, what's Neuralink's core philosophy in contrast? How do these two separate philosophies truly manifest in their technology? And what are the trade-offs for us, the potential users?
That's a great way to frame it. Neural Dust, as we discussed, is all about that minimally invasive approach using those microscopic dust particles.
Right, the injectable spies.
Exactly. That ultrasound-powered, wire-free design means it's inherently scalable. You could potentially have thousands of these motes spread throughout your nervous system.
Thousands.
Potentially, yes. This would give you a broad, though perhaps moderate, level of neural monitoring and stimulation. The trade-off is often a lower resolution of data compared to implants.
Okay.
But the upside is minimal surgical impact and potentially very widespread application.
Got it. Broad, but maybe less detailed.
Precisely. Neuralink, in stark contrast, is pursuing precision and high bandwidth. That coin-sized device surgically implanted directly into the brain.
With the robot tailor.
With the robot tailor,
Yeah.
inserting those ultra-thin electrode threads deep into the brain tissue. This is all about getting the highest resolution brain signals possible.
Okay.
It enables incredibly precise bidirectional communication between your brain and machines.
Bidirectional, so sending signals to the brain too.
Potentially, yes. Stimulation as well as recording. The trade-off here is clear, though. It requires complex neurosurgery.
Which is a big deal.
A very big deal. It brings inherent risks and obviously limits adoption, at least initially. So you're trading off widespread, easy application for incredibly detailed, precise control.
So one is a broad, stealthy network. The other is a high-definition, targeted connection requiring significant surgery.
That sums it up well.
Neuralink's precision sounds revolutionary, but yeah, that idea of invasive brain surgery still feels like a massive hurdle for public acceptance. How do they plan to overcome that inherent caution, especially with such a deeply personal technology? It seems like a huge ask for people, even for incredible benefits.
That's absolutely one of the central challenges, and it ties in everything from regulatory approval to public education. I think they are banking heavily on the life-changing results for patients with severe conditions.
Like paralysis.
Exactly. Proving the value there, making the surgical risk clearly worthwhile for specific populations first. The hope is that as the procedures become more refined, maybe less invasive over time, and the benefits undeniable, public acceptance will gradually increase.
It's a long game then.
It's a very long game for sure.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, who are the specific innovators driving this revolution beyond Musk and UC Berkeley? And what are some of the truly tangible impacts we're seeing right now? What stands out to you?
Absolutely. Well, beyond Neural Dust's pioneers at Berkeley, bolstered by DARPA funding and various startups spitting out.
Right.
And of course, Elon Musk's Neuralink leading the charge in human trials in the U.S., there are other significant players making waves.
Like who?
You have Kernel, for instance, which is focused on entirely non-invasive BCIs that use things like infrared light.
Oh, interesting. So no surgery at all.
No surgery at all. A completely different philosophical track, really aiming for accessibility over deep penetration. Then companies like Paradromics and Synchron are also making impressive strides with advanced implantable devices, each bringing their own distinct engineering spin to the challenge.
So it's not just Neuralink for implants.
Definitely not. It's becoming a competitive field, and it's truly a global race to innovate.
Globally. Where else is this happening?
Geographically, the U.S. is currently leading in commercial BCI development, yes. But it's important to note the rapid investment from China and Europe in neurotech research. China, for instance, has its own DARPA-equivalent agencies backing advanced projects. Things like even inhalable BCIs.
Wait, inhalable? How does that even work?
It's still very early stage research, but the idea is nanoparticles you could inhale that might then cross the blood-brain barrier and act as sensors.
That's, wow, fascinating and maybe a little unsettling.
Well, it pushes boundaries, for sure. They're also working on next-generation neural sensors. So it's not just a few players, it's a global scientific and technological.
Okay, let's talk about those real-world use cases you mentioned. What are some of the most impactful examples we're seeing or on the cusp of seeing? Give us some aha moments.
We're already seeing incredibly concrete, transformative use cases. In medical breakthroughs, Neuralink has famously enabled monkeys to play video games with their minds. You remember that?
Yep, Pong, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. And more profoundly, it's allowed patients with paralysis to control computer cursors with astonishing speed and precision. Just imagine.
Life-changing.
Absolutely. It's a life where you regain the ability to interact with the digital world, to communicate purely through thought. For Neural Dust, the potential for revolutionizing epilepsy treatment is huge.
How so?
By detecting and even suppressing seizures in real time without bulky external hardware. That's not just medical progress. It's a restoration of autonomy and peace of mind for millions.
That would be incredible.
Then in prosthetics and mobility, imagine wireless neural dust sensors allowing amputees to control prosthetic limbs naturally, translating nerve signals directly into fluid, intuitive movement.
Like Luke Skywalker's hand, but real.
Getting closer to that, yeah. Beyond medical, there's the exciting realm of cognitive enhancement. Neural dust, being less invasive, could offer a path for temporary boosts.
Like a mental energy drink?
Sort of. Boosts to memory, focus, or processing speed, almost like a temporary upgrade. While Neuralink, with its high bandwidth, seems to aim more for permanent augmentation possibilities down the line.
Okay. And mental health.
Huge potential. Continuous brain activity tracking could enable earlier detection of depression or anxiety, leading to much more timely and personalized interventions.
Wow.
The integration with AI is also fascinating. Imagine AI agents that respond instantly to your brain signals for task assistance or augmenting your creativity in real time.
Like having a thought partner connected directly.
Exactly. And in communication restoration, this is big. Neuralink recently received FDA breakthrough designation for a speech restoration device.
For people who can't speak.
Yes, offering immense hope for people who have lost the ability to speak due to stroke or other conditions. We're not talking about distant hypotheticals here. These applications are actively being developed and tested in the real world right now.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Every cutting-edge technology faces its hurdles, and BCIs are no exception. We've touched on the surgical risks for Neuralink quite a bit, actually. But what are some of the other significant roadblocks and real risks we as a society need to consider as this field explodes?
Well, first off, there are still significant technical challenges across the board. Making sensors biocompatible, meaning the body doesn't reject them over the long term.
Right, the body fighting back.
Exactly. And ensuring they are long-lasting and reliable inside the dynamic environment of the human body is incredibly tough. For Neuralink, they're still refining the implant design, trying to increase the electrode count for even better resolution, and figuring out long-term battery life or power solutions.
Yeah, you don't want to keep having surgery to change the battery.
Definitely not. With Neural Dust, the main challenge is perfecting that wireless power and data transmission, making sure those tiny motes can communicate effectively and efficiently from deep inside the body without interference or needing too much power. These are not trivial engineering problems.
No kidding.
They're pushing the boundaries of materials, science, and bioengineering constantly.
And as you mentioned earlier, the invasive neurosurgery required for Neuralink is a massive consideration. It inherently limits who can receive the implant and raises significant safety concerns for patients and regulators. Even Neural Dust's minimally invasive approach, while better, is still very much early stage. You're still talking about putting something foreign into the brain, right?
Precisely. And this brings us to perhaps those profound concerns: data, privacy, and ethics. Let's be crystal clear.
Yeah.
Brain data is the most personal data imaginable.
Yeah, it doesn't get more personal than your thought.
It's literally your thoughts, your intentions, your emotions, your neural activity.
Yeah.
This raises critical, urgent questions. Who owns this data? Your employer, the tech company, you. How is it protected from misuse or breaches? What if your neural activity could be used for targeted advertising in a way we can't even conceive of now? Or worse, for surveillance or control?
That's the scary side.
It is. These aren't just hypothetical questions for philosophers. They become incredibly pressing as BCIs become more mainstream and more widely adopted. We need answers and frameworks soon.
And in regulations.
On top of that, we have regulatory hurdles. Neuralink's pivotal trials, which are absolutely crucial for FDA approval, will undoubtedly take years to fully complete and analyze properly.
Years, okay.
And even then, global regulations for these kinds of advanced neurotechnologies vary widely. It creates a complex, fragmented landscape for development and deployment. Finally, there's the big one we touched on: public acceptance. The idea of implanting devices directly into the brain or injecting sensors, even tiny ones, raises significant societal and cultural concerns for many people. Will people be ready to embrace this level of integration? It's a conversation that society needs to have, weighing the profound benefits against the equally profound risks and ethical implications.
That's a lot to consider. This raises an important question then. What's next? Where are these brain-machine interfaces heading, and what does it truly mean for us, the listeners, as we move forward into this, well, brave new world?
For Neuralink, the immediate plan is to aggressively expand human trials in 2025. The goal is proving safety and efficacy to gain full FDA approval, initially likely for specific medical uses like paralysis or blindness, then maybe broader use cases later.
Okay.
Concurrently, neural dust research is pushing forward and moving closer towards human trials, aiming to offer that highly scalable, minimally invasive alternative to more traditional implants. A different path, but also progressing. We can also expect to see AI-powered brain agents become increasingly autonomous. Imagine AI that anticipates your needs or helps you solve problems almost before you consciously formulate them.
Like having a digital co-pilot for your mind. That's a concept.
It really is. There's also the fascinating potential for integration with things like blockchain technology.
Blockchain? How does that fit in?
Well, potentially as a way to secure neural data, maybe even give individuals more control or ownership over their own brain data and enable entirely new decentralized neural applications. It could create a whole new ecosystem around brain data.
Interesting. Secure brain data.
Yeah, it's a key concern might help address. And as all this unfolds, ethical frameworks and international regulations will have to continue to evolve, trying desperately to keep pace with this incredibly rapid innovation.
It feels like they're always playing catch-up.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Look, the brain-computer interface revolution is no longer science fiction. It's unfolding before our eyes right now. Whether it's neural dusts, tiny motes, or Neuralink's high-tech implants, these technologies will redefine medicine, human potential, and maybe even what it means to be human. The stakes are incredibly high, from restoring lost abilities, which is amazing,
Well, that's really amazing,
to raising truly profound ethical questions about our very nature and future.
So it leaves us all with a big question, doesn't it? Are you ready to connect your mind to the future, or does this tech give you pause? It's definitely a lot to think about, and the future is coming fast. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.